would you like to spend your morning? You could spend your morning like this. Or you could spend it like this.
Tune in to the Morning Ride every weekday morning from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. right here on Today FM, Today's Hit Music.
Bula, I'm DJ Toro. Join me every Monday to Thursday, 7 until midnight. The premium classics on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In the news tonight, MSG trade ministers talk of new trade agreement. Serious concerns of child labour and squatter settlements. And trial of former post-Fiji executives resumes after no case to answer application denied. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and you're watching FBC News. A new trade agreement for the Melanesian Spearhead Group is high on the agenda at the first MSG Trade Ministers meeting in Nadi today. The pact, to be tabled at the Leaders' Summit in June, will shape trade relations among member countries. Christopher Chand reports.
Formed 25 years ago, the Melanesian Spearhead Group has grown from strength to strength.
The MSG Group has become a strong and cohesive regional bloc. And now the MSG is also becoming a vibrant economic grouping with great potential. In fact, I would say the MSG solidarity has never been stronger. Together we represent 98.8% of the region's total land mass.
This meeting will review the MSG trade agreement, looking to facilitate the free movement of goods, services, labour and capital.
Although the agreement has already become an effective tool that is enhancing MSG trade, we must not lose sight of our goal: common market and economic union.
Trade between MSG member countries have no doubt been low in past years, but this is quickly changing.
Fiji's total trade with the Pacific Island countries has increased from less than 1% in 2000 to 4.5% in 2010. More than 40% of this trade is now with the MSG countries. In 2012, Fiji PNG trade alone was more than $23 million.
The meeting is a further boost to the MSG, following on from last week's Pacific ACP meeting and its strong presence during the G77 meeting a fortnight ago at Natandola in Singatoka. The group is coming into its own, finding a place in the global arena, ensuring the voice of the Pacific community is heard. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
It's alarming, yet it's true. Just in the central area alone, there are around 200 children in 15 squatter settlements who are engaged in some form of child labour, putting their health and future at risk. Shireen Lata has the story.
Child labour is not the best option, but when it comes to feeding the family, tough choices have to be made. A 2-year project by the People's Community Network has found that around 200 children in Suva and Lami area were forced to leave school and join the workforce to feed their families.
Well, we found them working in backyard garages, in car washes. They used to do scrap metal collection. They're selling coconuts by the roadside. They're selling pies or roti parcels late at night around major supermarkets. There's quite a range of activities that they are involved in. There's also young girls who are involved in doing house girl duties, babysitting, which they get paid for.
Jiddu Estate, Nanuku, Nandonumai, Wailea, Dombati and Wailoku are some of the settlements where children have a bleak future. The Labour Ministry has now stepped in to bring the children back in school.
With the survey that's come out, the results that have been identified by Father Bai and his team, Ministry will be interested in working together with them to see how well we can address this. Move a lot of these children out of child labour, put them back into school so that they can have a much better life.
While there are families facing financial difficulties, parents need to ensure that their children's future isn't compromised. PCN hopes to carry out similar projects in other divisions around the country. Shatin Lata, FBC News.
The trial of former Post-Fiji Managing Director Penny Mao and former Finance Manager Dhirendra Pratap continued this morning after the Suva High Court denied a no-case to answer application by defence lawyers. Mao and Pratap face abuse of office and extortion charges. Devna Ryan has the details.
Mao is alleged to have authorized the payment of $5,400 to Pratap as a reward for the compilation of tax return without the Board of Directors' endorsement nor the approval of the Higher Salaries Commission. Mao's lawyer Barbara Malimali then called her client as the first defense witness. Mao told the court he joined the company in 1968 as a telegraphic officer. After 22 years, he resigned to take a post with the corporatized Post and Telecommunications. He says in 1996 the company was further broken into two entities, Post Fiji and Telecom Fiji. Mao was then appointed the managing director of Post Fiji. He says decisions made within the company, including payments made to staff, are raised by the board of directors during their meetings. Mao says Pratap was rewarded for the compilation of tax returns for the company. The board knew about it and he was given the chance to make the decision of giving the money to Pratap. When questioned on the non-inclusion of payment details in the minutes, Mao says Post Fiji was a multi-million-dollar company and it was not necessary to include all details in the minutes. The trial will continue tomorrow. Dev Narayan, FBC News.
Fiji's membership in numerous multilateral agreements on the environment has encouraged government to do more for our surroundings. As part of this effort, the National Environment Celebration Campaign and commemoration of World Biodiversity Day was launched this morning. Asenate Korovolovula has more.
The government's commitment to protecting our environment is evident from the various environment agreements it has signed.
These international commitments, government has ratified numerous of these MEAs in trying to play its role in the protection of environment. And one of the major commitments of the Fiji government is through environment sustainability, through its Pillar 5 of the roadmap.
Fiji's celebration of World Biodiversity Day will be more interactive and focused on getting people understand about our environment and what it means to us.
When we talk about biodiversity, what does it mean to you and me when we talk about biodiversity? Well, a simple definition is your relationship with living things around you and how you nurture them and how you live with them, because they also contribute to your livelihoods.
Pacific Biogeography Professor Randy Thurman will also be part of the celebration, says the campaign is to ensure that human activity does not have a drastic impact on our surroundings.
In the process of development, we make sure that our natural resources, our biodiversity, all of our living environments, our reefs, our forests, our rivers, our towns are maintained so that they continue to produce the water, the food, and all of the other goods and services that they provide.
Celebration for World Biodiversity Day will be held at the Loisubo on Wednesday with the theme, A Greener Fiji, Our Lifestyle, Working Together for a Safer Home. Asinati Korobulabula, FBC News.
Coming up after the break, preparations underway for ordination of new Catholic Church Archbishop.
नमस्ते दोस्तों, मिर्ची रफ्तार से मैं अश्निल सिंह। शामिल हो जाइए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे फ्रॉम 3 to 7 PM।
Nimula, methango nimilote na isoro tambua. Nama kia umena rua kina ona na via kavi moniti kina whakarombuka. Rongo mena via sana kina vipa ka barota kini ndreko malolo. Ena Radio Fiji 1 na wongani pia niano. Ngai nama kia kina.
I wake up in the morning, I prefer to go down to the gym, get a bit of physical work done. Also, later on in the day, I decide to go through for meditation. I do a bit of reading to find out what the latest songs are, a bit of research. And for me, it's all about the listeners.
Hey, what's up? I'm Rio, and this is the Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 o'clock to 7, only on Today FM. Today is hit music. What's up?
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. Preparations are underway for the ordination of the new Archbishop of the Catholic Church in Fiji and Oceania next month. Tonight, Mikalonga looks back in history of the past archbishops who served and expanded the Catholic Church.
The first archbishop to serve Fiji and the Oceania region was Father John Barrett, who came into Fiji in 1844. After him was Bishop Vidal, who served the church for 37 years.
This is the archbishop that bought a lot of land and started most of the parishes in Fiji.
The third archbishop was Bishop Nicholas, who served for 22 years, then Archbishop Victor Foley, who was succeeded by Archbishop George Pierce, who came to Fiji from Samoa. Archbishop Petro Matadha was ordained to the position in 1976. He has served the church for 38 years.
The ordination of Archbishop Petro Matadha to be the archbishop and to be the archbishop symbolizes that Rome believes that the natives of these islands, they could look after their own faith.
The ordination of the Archbishop-elect will make him the 6th Archbishop of Fiji and the Oceania region and the second to be ordained locally.
The young generation of 38 years, all those who are 38 years, this is the first time that we will be able to be present to ordain our Archbishop. After this, they will wait for another 22 years because Father Peter Law is 53 years. After 22 years, he'll be 75. Then another new bishop will take over.
The much-awaited ordination will be a momentous one for Catholics.
Thousands are expected at this venue on the 8th of June to witness the ordination of the new Archbishop. Such an event doesn't come by often. The Catholic Church has already set things in motion in the preparation of various aspects of yet another historic and solemn occasion. Mikalonga, FBC News.
The National Fire Authority has completed its investigation into the fire which destroyed the Morris Hedstrom supermarket in Nandi 2 weeks ago. NFA Chief Executive John O'Connor says they have released the details to police and MH's insurance company. O'Connor says they were able to determine where the fire started but could not reveal further details.
Like in big fires, we give that privilege to the owner of the property. If they want to reveal the sources of the cause of fire and something, then it's their prerogative.
The MH Nandi store burned down on Monday, May 6th. All 55 staff have been accommodated at nearby branches. Officers of our disciplined forces need to better understand the situation they are dealing with during an armed conflict. A 5-day workshop on armed conflict is being conducted by the International Committee of the Red Cross at the Military Officers Training Center in Vatuanga. Epelito Kowasa reports.
Senior officers have been reminded that one of the top priority in any conflict situation is preventing the suffering of those affected.
Yes, it's very important that the future leaders of our disciplined forces are well aware of the rules that govern their behavior. So that when they do get involved in these scenarios, they are well educated and they can deal with the situations accordingly.
These officers need to better understand the situation they are dealing with, especially when it comes to the protections of unarmed civilians.
Fiji has long experience in peacekeeping missions in many different contexts around the world. My message when I speak to military forces generally is they should be aware of what's going on in those places where they're going. Is it a situation of conflict? If so, what kind? What's the legal framework that they're going into that will apply?
Members of the force have also been reminded that they should always abide by international law in dealing with armed conflict. Even though Fiji has a good reputation in peacekeeping around the world, there still needs to be a lot of improvement.
Recent cases where individuals have been taken to task for non-compliance and non-adherence to international instruments. We cannot be caught on say we are ignorant of such things.
The workshop will educate these senior officers on the huge responsibility they have in preventing the suffering of unarmed civilians in a conflict. Epeli Tukuasa, FBC News.
Close to 2,000 Rotumans flocked to the Ahau government station ground to celebrate Rotuma Day last week. Api Salome Doka was in Rotuma and takes a look back at the memorable occasion.
At this very site, on the 13th of May 1881, the chiefs of Rotuma formally gave their island and its people to Her Majesty Queen Victoria and her Britannic government as part of colonial Fiji. It's now 132 years since that momentous occasion.
The past 132 years has been a long, unique, special bond and relationship between our two indigenous communities and other races within our beloved nation, Fiji.
It was after the flag-raising ceremony at the deed of cession site that Chief Guest, the Permanent Secretary to the Prime Minister's office, made his way to Ahau government station to officially open the celebrations. Lieutenant Colonel Pio Tikundundua stressed to the people government's aim to develop the island.
You will understand of the efforts by your government today, in particular the Prime Minister, to develop as much as he can within his capacity the potentials that are here in Rotuma.
Tikundundua says the island's location is a hindrance to development efforts.
Rotuma is a difficult island to reach. It is a difficult island to support.
He also made it clear the 2014 elections is a must.
We're really into now the political process in preparation for the handover to civil governance. Elections for us is in September 2014. I come here today also to assure you that this is government's commitment.
For these islanders, it wouldn't be a celebration without the feasting and merrymaking. Even the chief guest was on his feet in no time. Api Salome Doka, FBC News.
It's sports time now, and Jamie joins us with news that yet another sporting facility is set to be renovated in Suva.
That's right, we've seen the new ANZ Stadium, and now it's the ever-eventful Albert Park that will undergo renovations. Details of the big project after the break. Also coming up, Nandi football crashes Suva's homecoming party. Stay with us for that and more.
जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वो है आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on Ghar Sansar, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
Nisambulo binaka oya wone kamanalangi oni nandorungo diao mena diwa kina rua na bisinga mena moniti kina bagarumbuka na Radio Fiji 1 ndoma ibiti bongani bianyano nama katalengana bengo na sasibiani na tinna kaloka na bembongi ni bukilulu kena bima mani walu na bembongi ni bakarowai mena mbuza ni balu ninge namaka.
Welcome back. You're watching FBC Sports. A major renovation is planned for Suva's Albert Park to bring it up to a higher standard. The site where sporting events, major functions and of course the annual Hibiscus Festival are held should have a new look by next year. Indra Singh with more.
Famous for its popularity for sporting bodies and also leisure activities, Albert Park is about to undergo some major changes. Soon, the capital could see yet another top-class sporting venue to choose from.
After the Hibiscus Festival, we like to close the entire ground. Like the Fiji Sports Council have done with the National Stadium, we'll close the whole park for a few months and we'll get the level of the ground lifted up. We also are considering breaking the present pavilion and make a proper pavilion.
Umaria says there are too many things contributing to the downfall of the park, which has something happening daily on it. From training to matches, the ground is in urgent need of a major upgrade.
Albert Park has been a long-going problem. Firstly, if one will notice, the ground is below sea level. I mean, every time there's a heavy downpour, it's very hard for the storm water or rainwater to get out of Albert Park into the sea.
This piece of Suva's iconic sporting history is about to undergo a change. What happens in the next few months will be very interesting, not for the public of Suva only, but also the sporting bodies of the capital side. The cost factor is another, which sees the council wanting to involve business houses in this major project.
We'll have the pavilion and we will, like I said, we'll exactly do the same thing like all the other towns and cities have done, give naming rights to any organization who wishes to come on board.
Now the wait begins of what could be an end of an era for Albert Park. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
The national under-20 rugby side presented the Itautau today to Sports Minister William Naupoto. The team is counting down towards their Junior Rugby World Championships in France next month. Talindau Dakadaka has more.
This is the national team to the Junior Rugby World Championships in France. These young players took time out from their training to present their Itautau to the Minister of Sports. The boys were told not to waste the opportunity given to represent the country on the international stage.
When you go and just give your best, you come back with a peace of mind. It's peace of mind out of self-satisfaction that you know that you went and did your best, the best of which you are capable of.
The team took a lot of encouragement from the minister's words.
He's been telling us for us just to do our best there, so the boys are focusing to France.
The team will be flying out next week. These boys will be carrying the hopes of the nation as they seek to improve on their 11th place ranking. Talindau Dakadaka, FBC Sports.
Naita Asiri has taken the lead on the points table of the Digicel Cup rugby competition. After its hard-fought 14-13 win over Lautoka on Saturday, the Highlanders now have 22 points. Nadronga is second on 19 points. Suva is also on 19, but the Stallions have a better point differential. Nandi, which lost its unbeaten run to Vatukola, is fourth with 18. In football, Nandi remains on top of the Fiji Sun GP Batteries National League points table. This after the side accounted for Suva 1-0 at the new NZ Stadium. Playing on its home turf after almost a year, the Whites' joy of returning was cut short by Nandi. Indra Singh with more.
Playing on the far touchline side.
A special win at a new venue. And coupled with that, the Nandi football side has maintained their lead on the National League points table.
We worked on our game plan according to the striking forces, and I think we managed to score. That was a great thing.
New recruit Chone Salaune proved to be the beneficiary of some lackluster Suva defense. His scoring prowess is known to the football fraternity, but not having played at the top level for some time can have its weaknesses.
I always believed in him, and I think he is one of the great strikers. He needs a little bit more time to get fit, and I think once he's fit, he'll be a striker to reckon in future.
Suva was playing on its home turf after almost a year, but failed to gift its faithful the much-needed victory.
Definitely a bit of setback, but we'll try to continue playing. We still got a chance. Same as Nandi, I think we still down with 2 games. Still got 2 games in hand.
The task has become even harder for the Whites. But as for the Jet Setters, the win does cement their position as the top football team in the nation for now. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, Nandi has opened a 5-point gap on the points table. Lambasa remains second, followed by Suva and Ba. And that's it for Monday Night Sports. It's back to Jackie now for business.
The Suva City Council is still facing difficulty in collecting overdue rates. Close to $18 million in arrears have been accumulated over the years. Special Administrator Chandu Maria says they have tried all avenues, but some ratepayers continue to ignore their notices. Umaria also claims that taking people to court is also proving futile, as the court system is slow and takes too long for the cases to be solved.
A lot of cases have been taken to the small tribunal, but as you know, that people, when they go to the small tribunal, they can say, I will only pay $5 a week or $10 a month or $50 a month, where they're owing about $4,000 or $5,000.
Majority of those who owe the council money are business houses. Time for weather now with Genevieve. How's it, Jen?
Hi, Jackie. Taking a look at our map here, you can see a bit of sunshine in Nandi, Lautoka and Ba, while Suva and the friendly north had periods of cloudiness and brief showers today. The Western Division experienced cloudiness as well, but towards the afternoon. Crossing over to temperatures, and it looks like things were pretty even today. The highest temperature was recorded in Ba at 33 degrees. Now, it seems that cloudy weather is very likely tomorrow, with clouds and showers forecast over the entire group. You might just get a bit of sun in the west, though. And it's Jeremiah Ndaku of Suvavo who has this week's first photo of the day. Now, try and guess where this is. If you answered Navor, then you guessed right. That's it from me this evening. Remember, Citizens Eyes at fbc.com.fj is where you can send us all your great scenic photos. As always, have a relaxing evening, stay safe, and stay smiling.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. And recapping the headlines, MSG trade ministers talk of new trade agreement, serious concerns of child labour and squatter settlements, and trial of former post-Fiji executives resumes after no case to answer application is denied. Now to the results of last week's poll, we asked, can Fiji win the Rugby Sevens World Cup? There were a total of 452 votes, 49% said yes. Now on to this week's question. Is it worth Fiji playing the classic All Blacks instead of the main team for centenary celebrations? Visit www.fbc.com.fj to answer. Also remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's it from us. Until tomorrow, good night.
Isambul binaka, na dango wadi soni dalai, nama kio mani wasini ngono borota kina lali ne kabi, mai na tolu kina bitu, ena moni digina por rombuka, ena Mbula FM, na bandu ena serre.
Na wasini ngono ni bakatara, bakabini binaka Bula. Oya wasala bilawa. Ndo pata kia umay na diwa kina tinikarona kaloko na single ni moni tikina bagarumbuka. Kako ni valatana no musini sari na kaisa moriando loloma lene vani ni nau om gori ke de na diwa kina tinikarona kaloko na single ni moni tikina bagarumbuka na Mbula FM. Number 2 en sere.